This is the all-new Insta360 X4 Air, and next to the Insta360 X5. What are the biggest differences between these two? Today, I'm going to get into it. Now, as you can already see, there's a massive size difference. So the X4 Air is much smaller in terms of the height, the depth, and the weight, but it does look very similar. It's kind of like a mini version. They're both 360 cameras. They have a screen on the front. The Air has only one button. The batteries look similar, but they are not interchangeable. It says X4 Air on the back, whereas the X5 says X5. They both have the Insta360 fast mounts as well as 1/4 inch mounts on the bottom, and they both have wind muff microphones to protect from the wind. Now, in terms of price, the X5 is $550, whereas the X4 Air is $400. So you're saving $150 by going with a smaller version. But that's not the only big difference. The size is a massive difference. As someone who runs and bikes, being able to put a smaller object with less weight, less dimensions, it's easier to run with when your arm is extended out. And then it's easier to bike because you want to minimize the amount of weight on your bike as well. Then the X4 Air comes into play. Now, what are some other differences? We have 88 minutes of battery life on the X4 Air versus 208 minutes on the X5. And the X4 Air does not have fast wireless charging. You'll be able to get 8K 30 on both of them, but on the X5, you'll get 5.7K plus 30 frames a second, where you don't get that on the X4 Air. Pure video is also available on the X5, which is great for nighttime, but they both offer replaceable lenses. So if you do damage them, you can replace their lenses. So that's a big up from there. I think that's where you would purchase this over the X4. They're both waterproof up to 49 feet. Or 15 meters, and they have the flow state stabilization and 360 horizon lock. They both support almost all the same video modes like Instaframe, time lapse, time shift, loop recording, road mode, star lapse, burst, interval photo, video, and then also these single lens modes as well. Me mode, so you can kind of just capture you while running or biking and not have to edit it after the fact. I think these are huge. Now, I live in New York City and I have a bunch of content creator friends, so I wanted to see their reactions and their thoughts on the differences between these two cameras. So let's dive deep into what their thoughts are.
Take is that A is really kind of like muddy versus B is there's like an obvious like sharpening going on, but maybe in a better way. Like B does look a little nice and sharper and crispier. A is also struggling with the stitch line I see, while B is kind of keeping it consistent. Maybe A is struggling a little bit with like contrast. Colors are a little different, but not too crazy. I think just like the clarity of B is very apparent, but that could also just be digital sharpening as well. Oh yeah, the stitch line is definitely better on B. I guess like dynamic range in B, like the shadows in A are pretty dark versus B, I feel like kind of retains a lot of details. They're pretty comparable. They're both like alright in low light. I guess I would go B just because it seems to have like more dynamic range, and I guess it's a little bit crispier. Yeah. But I hate the crispiness. Like I just wish it was just like the sensor was just sharper in general, but not like post sharpened. Yeah, I think by the time you upload it to social media, it's maybe not the biggest difference because of the compressions and stuff, but I guess yeah, I'm always gonna go for like the best of the best quality, so probably I'd go with the X5.
You look like a potato in A. Like this is very pixeled, this is very clear, and the colors feel a lot more vibrant on the right. Yeah, the camera B is superior. Camera A is not, because camera A looks like you can't even see your face there. It's not as clear. It looks potato. B is very clear. Like I said, vibrant. You can see all the details and even the sky, like the blue in the sky. White, just the camera A seems very like blown out. I still like B more because it's clear. Like A is not clear. Okay, so they're both not awesome in low light, but one's better in low light. It's much more clear in B. Okay, then I guess B is the 5.
It's so hard to tell the difference. Now, actually, I would say B looks a little bit, I'm going B final answer, looks smoother and cleaner. Yeah, I would say B looks a little bit sharper. Colors look a little bit better. Looks a little more clear. Yeah. I'm gonna go B. Very similar right here where the sun isn't like hitting it directly. It is very hard to tell the difference here. Sky maybe looks a little bluer here. I mean, otherwise the colors look very similar. They're just so close. It's like, it's a negligible difference. A night shot. Very similar though. I would say A is a little bit more grainy here. B is a little bit cleaner. Blue seems a little bit brighter in B. So yeah, I would say B is a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, it's very similar.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference.
Yeah, what do you think is the gap difference between the two?
Like 5%. But I guess if I had to pick one, it would be B, but I wouldn't mind either.
On B for this first walking shot, they are like sharper, a little sharper, more clarity on the B for this scene. Like there's less haze, like this one has a little bit of like a haze thing going on because it's backlit versus this one has like dynamic range, I want to say. Man, I'm really biased towards B for this whole video right now.
Which one do you think is the X4 Air?
I think B is X5. Is it?
Yeah, you're right.
What are my personal thoughts? Now, the biggest things I notice is the dynamic range is better on the X5. It just seems like there's a little bit more dynamic range. You're able to see more of the clouds in the sky. The X4 feels like good enough. There's also something different about the colors. I made sure to keep the settings as similar as possible on both of these cameras, but it felt like the colors were just more saturated and more poppy on the X5, whereas it seemed more, maybe a little less flat, but more realistic on the X4 Air. But the differences are only noticeable if you put the footage side by side. If you're trying to capture content for like Instagram Reels, capture family moments, I feel like they're both pretty on par with getting similar footage. There's no drastic differences. Like I'm not going to notice the dynamic range in the sky when I'm capturing a family moment or trying to post an Instagram Reel. And that's where the size and weight factor comes in. It's like, okay, I want a smaller camera. I'm a big fan of this half tripod here where you can actually go ahead and screw on the Insta360 X4 Air. This will give you the smallest form factor. So as someone who runs and you want to capture your runs, you want something small that can fit, you know, in your pocket or in a waistband and you don't have to worry about it. And then I can pull it out and capture the moments that I need. And this is amazing. I love this little tripod that they have. You can easily stop recording and then I can fully extend it as needed. When I'm done recording, I go ahead and press this button, it folds up, and then I can slide this into my pocket and not have to worry about it, or a pouch that I have around my waist. So this, compared to the X5 and the amount of weight that the X5 has, especially when you're doing adventure activities and you just want to minimize the amount of weight, that's where I'm like, okay, I don't need that little extra dynamic range. I'm going to go with the X4 Air. So now which one should you purchase? I think it depends. If you are an action-oriented person where weight and size matter, the X4 Air is the way to go. Did I wish that this form factor was even smaller? Yes. Like if I bring it next to the DJI Osmo 360, different form factor, it's wider. But the X4 Air is still lighter and feels smaller. I love the narrow, thin aspect of the X4 Air. And even if we bring it next to the GoPro Max 2 360, like the X4 Air is just that much smaller. I think the Max 2 360 is even smaller than the DJI 360, but the X4 Air wins in terms of like lightest and smallest, in my opinion. But if you're looking at the best image quality, like $150 in comparison to the $400, $550 that you're spending is not a drastic jump. I wish the price was much cheaper and I wish it was much smaller. But if you're like, okay, I want to get that smaller size, I need that for the activity that I'm doing, then that's where I would purchase the X4 Air. If you're looking for the best image quality, a camera that's amazing and probably the best 360 camera in my opinion, I'd go with the Insta360 X5. I'll have links down below. If you click those links, they help support the channel. Follow me at Shervin Shares on all the socials. Subscribe, turn notifications. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.